Who here has ever experienced culture shock? Raise your hands. Do you guys wish that you were more culturally diverse? Me too. When I was a junior in high school, I was transferred from my predominantly white high school to a very culturally diverse high school in Taunton, and the culture shock was unreal. People were speaking different languages to each other in the hallway, whether it be Cape Verde, Asian, or Spanish, and I just felt extremely out of place. And I think that if I was more culturally diverse, I would have been more comfortable, and knowing previous languages would have definitely helped that. We have some stats regarding bilinguals in the United States. 1 in 5 people speak a foreign language at home. Bilinguals make an average of $10,000 more every single year than a non-bilingual. Only 7% of the population is enrolled in a foreign language program currently. And there was a 6.7 decline in that number. And there's an estimate that by 2035, 51% of the United States is going to be bilingual. So, with such a great percentage being bilingual, there is an up-and-coming extreme need for bilinguals in business, and that is just the first topic that we found to be most important. The reason why being... Okay, so there are many bilinguals wanted in business. Every business wants to expand, especially overseas. So if they have a worker who is bilingual and is able to speak with those foreign clientele, they are highly wanted. Communications is huge in customer service. That's what it's all about. So if you have a bilingual employee that can make those communications, make those one-on-one connections with those customers, make sure that they'll come back and give them their service again, they are a very pleased employer and a happy employee. With that high number, again, of bilinguals in the United States, the number of bilingual children in schools is huge right now, and the need for bilinguals in those schools is huge as well, either to teach those kids English or to teach them Spanish, because both of them need to rise. I'm going to hand it over to Alina, and she's going to tell you about the brain capacity.
Okay, so speaking of schools and learning a new language is also very beneficial for your brain. In one way, it's beneficial is that it delays the onset of certain brain diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. So in a study done at York University in Toronto, researchers compared bilinguals with monoglots, and they found that learning a foreign language and practicing it regularly can improve your cognitive skills and delay the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's by an average of 4 to 5 years. So that's pretty amazing that just learning a different language, even if it's not fluently, can reduce your chances of getting a disease, even at better chances than using drugs or medicine. Also, learning a new language is beneficial for your brain in ways that develop your business skills. So, in a study done at Penn State University, a psychologist indicated that speaking more than one language keeps the brain in shape and improves your mental functions. They found that bilinguals are way better at prioritizing and multitasking, things that you need not only in college but just in life in general, are way better at that than people that only speak one language. So it helps even in everyday life as well with remembering shopping lists, names of people. That's always important, especially if you're networking. You want to remember someone's name the first time they tell it to you, and even directions. And then the last way that learning a language is beneficial for your brain is obviously boosting your energy. So in a study done somewhere else, it is found that bilingual babies have a way better memory than babies that only learn one language. So obviously, if you speak one language and someone speaks two, they probably have a better working memory than you. And the next benefit of learning a new language is improving your overall attitude and quality of life. Learning new languages makes you a well-rounded person and a more cultured person. So a bilingual brain is a happy brain. When you're learning different languages, like I said, it's beneficial for your brain, not only mentally and your mental skills, but also physically. When you learn different languages, that part of your brain, pictured in the slides, actually grows, physically grows. So the more you learn, the more your brain grows, and then the happier you'll be with the more that you know. Also, it increases your ability to develop relationships. If you know different language, even if it's just a few words or a few songs from a different culture or like dishes or food dishes, you're able to connect with people. And you're able to connect with people from different walks of life, people that you probably wouldn't have anything in common with. And learning a new language helps you to broaden your horizons in the end. If you're well-rounded, well-cultured, you can go down any path you want to go down. You don't have to be limited to English-speaking countries or jobs that require you to speak English or put you at a disadvantage because you only know one language. So once you decide what path you want to go down, you can take learning your new language to the next step and actually indulge. And one way to do that is traveling. So whether that's working so that you can travel or traveling for work, knowing different languages is very beneficial. If you're traveling for work, you can network with different people in different countries and communicate better, as Renee touched on earlier. And also traveling for just yourself and for improving your mental and spiritual kind of psyche. Traveling for yourself will help you become a well-rounded person. You'll know how to act in certain situations and in different countries, and you learn more from your experiences in the end. And just one last thing is that foreign languages are in a lot of places that we realize, like Renee mentioned, they're in the business world, they're in the medical field, schools, and in family life. So knowing languages is essential at this day and age.
Now we have some frequently asked questions. A lot of people want to know what the easiest and hardest languages are to learn. The easiest are Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Italian. The hardest are Arabic, Chinese, Korean, and Japanese. People want to know how long it takes to learn a second language. There's a lot of things that can affect that, depending on how old you are, because as you get older, your brain slows down, doesn't work as good as when you were younger, so the sooner the better. Don't wait. It depends on how much time you spend each day doing it, and depends on just how dedicated you are to it. Anyone can learn how to learn a second language. Some people think that they're too old or there's just no way for them to, but there's programs out there, there's books, there's DVDs, there's Rosetta Stone, and if you think about it, you didn't know a language when you were born, you already learned one, so why can't you learn a second one? It helps you be more respectful of other cultures with language barriers too, understanding the diverse cultures all around the world, that everyone lives a different way. It lets you learn about all the different cultures and makes you just a more well-rounded person, which will help you in your everyday life. So don't hesitate to get help from another person. If you do try to learn another language, it's a normal thing, and when in doubt, just smile. Smile says more than anything else. So a lot of people want to know if it's true, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, and it is. It's kind of like riding a bike. You can learn how to at one point, but then if you don't do it for a while, you get back on, you'll be shaky, but you still will have it a little bit. So just practice, keep up with it, put time into it, and you never have to worry about losing it.
So, to conclude the importance of being bilingual, a huge thing obviously is that in the 21st century, slowly but surely it's going to require it here. The bilingual ratio is getting higher and higher. Remember, the quicker you start, the quicker you can reap the potential benefits, whether they personal, physical, whatever they may be, reap them. And the greatest benefit, we think, is the becoming more culturally culturally diverse. It's definitely a good thing to be culturally diverse and open-minded, not narrow-minded. You're more comfortable in any given situation, and yeah. So we're asking you to consider getting involved at school. I know there's foreign language clubs here.
Yeah, there's like the Spanish club, there's a French club, Portuguese club. There's also like Haitian club, I know there is. And there's also the multicultural show that happens on campus every year where performers from different cultures sing songs, dances, do skits, and it's a very diverse show where you can learn a lot from different cultures.
So between that and there being, the regular foreign language courses, Portuguese, French, and I don't remember, Spanish. But yeah, so those are offered there too, and get involved and learn a new language. Done.
Be a better person.
Thank you.
Adios.